I'm Ellie Crystal, and I'm a psychic in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. I have done readings actually all over the world, but today I'm here with a special client who hasn't been here in a long time. Her name is Susan. Hi, Susan.
Guys.
Susan used to live in Staten Island.
Correct, and now I moved to Jersey, and it's been 10 years since I've been here, so we wanted to do a quick video to figure out how things have changed since the last reading. So how have psychic readings changed in the last 10 years?
Well, first of all, the topics have changed, okay? I mean, there's certain basic topics in every reading. You have health issues, career issues, but everything now is speeded up. Everything is very different, you know? Before, when we talk about health issues, it was long and drawn out and turn cards. I don't really need any of that. I have the ability to align my consciousness with the client's consciousness, and I can scan the body, and clients are more aware of their emotional and physical problems now than ever before, and I'm like, yay for that, you know?
Yes.
I'm very happy. Do you work in a medical field I'm picking up? I don't remember.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so
Yes,
you would
I do.
appreciate, maybe that's why I have to talk about health. And then there are other basic, you know, relationship issues. There's issues that have to do with spirits. These things will always be consistent, okay? But years ago, there was more emphasis on, Ellie, will you channel Z? No. Ellie, will you tell me about my past life? I can't remember the last time somebody asked for a past life reading.
Can I ask?
You want a past life? Okay, when we do yours, that's your personal stuff, though. But if you want to, I do see you in other lifetimes as a healer. I don't know if you researched this yourself.
I have.
But I do feel that you have, I keep seeing the word, if you look, I look out at the bridge when I'm reading, and the window on the left, okay? And I don't even see the cars or the trees or really the bridge. It becomes like a screen to me.
And what do you say?
When I look out at it, I see things moving. I see, it's of course it's my consciousness doing it. But when I looked out at it, I saw the word shaman.
I've been told that. That is correct.
Yay.
We've never discussed this. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, she is a genuine gift from God.
Well, we're not supposed to be promoting me. We're just supposed to be talking about that.
Absolutely, but I have to.
When I looked out at my window, I saw a shaman in the sense of not South American, but more Native American, and working with nature, actually, just working with nature to help people. I also see you in Egypt.
I've been told that too. So that's two spot on, which we have not discussed before, ever.
Okay, but I do see you in Egypt, and I see you as one of those goddess priestess things.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
And you're looking over one of those pools of water that when you look in it, it's like this window becomes it just moves to me, sort of like a Nostradamus type of thing. Nostradamus used to stare into something.
Like
what happens
scrying? Scribing, they used to call it.
Scrying.
Yes, scrying.
Or pareidolia, it's called. You know, you just look into something and it allows your consciousness to go into another grid.
Amazing.
Okay? So that I've always done, but I don't get too many people asking me. Your life in Egypt, too, I see two. I don't know if you've been told, one female, one male.
I've been told female priestess, yes.
Yeah, that one. And then we can go into others, but we want to talk about actually how the readings have changed. Ellie still uses, and since Susan came, I had to call and reorder another couple of crates of these. I still use a cassette. Why do I use a cassette in a modern age? Because I just use it to time the reading. Okay? What has changed in how clients do record is everybody has, like Susan, your basic cell phone, okay? Android, whatever version you have, and they just click on the app. So they have their
The ability to store it.
2016, 2017 version, and then they have Ellie, who's kind of a little older now.
The vintage classic, which is always great to have on hand.
So those things have updated and changed. Then a very big important thing that wasn't even around back then in 10 years ago, or maybe just coming out but I didn't have one, is your basic techie iPad. Okay?
And what do we do with that?
Okay, I use the iPad with my clients to, let's say the client is looking for a job. You're not looking for a job. I don't see that. No. But let's say they're looking for a job or looking to at college. They want to consider this university versus that university. So we just go into the iPad. Everybody in the world's got my password. I don't care. And they go and they find the university. And when I look at the university, and it's not even the curriculum. I'm not looking at the curriculum or the professors. It has nothing to do with it. But when I look at it here, I do that thing with the consciousness where I can just say, yes, this is right, and no, this is wrong. I mean, could I do it without the iPad? Yes, but it's a nice little tool. It's also good at, clients come with their pictures. Obviously, Susan brought a whole bunch of old ones, new ones, some are printed. She brought her pictures, but sometimes, especially with the young women, I forgot my bestie. And so we have to go into Facebook, or they have to go into Facebook, and they have to find bestie.
It allows immediate access to social media.
Exactly. And then once we get into social media, we can find things that they had forgotten to bring, because I always tell them, print your pictures, make sure you have everything you need. But people don't. They forget, or they don't remember until we get here. Like the client I read yesterday, I said, bring some family pictures. And she's sitting here, she had her mom and her dad. And she said, oh, I forgot all my brothers. 5 of them. And I said, next time. Because, I mean, she started looking through her Facebook, frivolously to do it, but it takes a lot of extra time, What else has changed? I still do my palm prints, Palm Print 101, okay.
I have both of my files from the 10 years before.
Ah, and they're filed and they're labeled. And
absolutely, and they're a great treasure to look back at.
Thank you. So we do palmistry, we do a little numerology. Let's see, what do people ask about then? Well, now, of course, everyone wants to talk about the election, the presidential election. And what I find with people today is, yes, of course, they want to talk about their own reasons they came here, be it relationship or whatever. But they really want to talk about the election because the election dictates how our economy is going to be, don't you think?
Absolutely, and where we stand.
Donald Trump is supposed to be the guy who's coming in now. He was just elected this month, actually last week. He's supposed to be the guy who's coming in and to help create jobs and fix things as best he can. And you don't do it overnight. I saw some people on television say, I hope he can do this by February. And I'm like, of what year?
Of course.
It's, people are more, that's the internet too, and social media. They're more current. They're more on topic. They're more wiser. What's another thing to say about how people...
More aware of what's around us.
Yes. And then there goes, okay, so let's just do a quick segue to, I used to get the healers, okay? However their technique was, whether it was the body, the mind, the soul, or a combination of whatever, okay? So I had the healers, and the healers, at that time, I always used to tell them, don't heal unless you are healed yourself, body, mind, and soul also. And sometimes I'd warn them, and they would come back and they would tell me, you told me not to do healing, and I brought into myself some bad stuff, and maybe I had some cancer in places we don't talk about, and I just generally burnt out. Do you find that people are more confused and burnt out now than ever?
Absolutely. And I also find that I'm always running out of time. I feel like the days have gotten shorter. I can't get anything done. I feel like I'm always trying to hurry up, and meanwhile, we all get 9 to 5. We still have a full regular day, but I just find that time is just going so fast.
I think some people feel it's accelerating.
That's what I feel, for myself personally.
Yeah. Well, for me, a day goes very, very quickly. I mean, I always say, look at this. It's a beautiful autumn day. I think I'll do your reading, and then maybe I'll go out. And by the time I finish your reading, this will happen and that'll happen. So my days are very busy. But in talking about how readings have changed, they are more academic. People are more aware, not spiritually, of I'm going to channel somebody and this is going to happen, like a motorcycle. That's a motorcycle. Okay. But people are just much more, they did all the spiritual searching and questing and doing, and now all these countries where they used to go, like Egypt and all of them, are having so many problems. You just can't take off and go stand in some sacred site, you know? And that doesn't work anymore. Now people are living in the practical. But the main things they ask about, okay, they want to know why the world is so crazy. They want to know why is someone, our two candidates were Hillary Clinton, who I would never have voted for, okay, but why are the corrupt, or what seems to be the corrupt people, still fighting for control? They want control. So somewhere in the fact that Donald Trump, who I blogged about last June when he said, I want to run for president, I said he's going the distance. They want to know why. He's not a politician. He lacks a lot of experience and skills that he's going to have to catch up on very quickly. There's a lot of things that are happening, that his choices he's making now, that are going to change. Everything that Donald Trump is doing now is going to change. And still in all, you say, Ellie, why did you vote for him? Because election day I wasn't going to vote. I'm a registered independent. And I woke up that morning and I knew with every psychic part of me, okay, he had to be president and I had to go vote. So I did. It remains to be seen why, because obviously, wouldn't you say it was orchestrated for him to win? Not in the sense of vote tampering, I don't mean it that way, by something more than we see.
For me, yes, definitely. That is my opinion as well.
Did you vote for him, or you don't?
I absolutely voted for Trump.
Okay, a girl after my own heart.
I absolutely voted for Trump.
Actually, most of the people I know did. A few exceptions, but I was surprised, and everybody had it on the down low. Like, you'd say, who'd you vote for? And they go, I don't talk politics.
Yeah, no, politics I'm very open with. I don't have a problem, voicing why I would vote for who I would vote for. And Trump to me was the better candidate.
Of the two evil choices.
Exactly. To say it as nicely as possible.
But the whole way he just came into winning in the at the last minute.
It was amazing.
It was like, this is orchestrated, and people want to ask this. I don't get a lot of conspiracy theorists. I do work with law enforcement, and that, of course, I can't talk about. But I don't get a lot of conspiracy theorists, but we will talk that kind of talk, not as much as years ago. People are not that interested in what happened back then. Even on my files, paleontology, archaeology, no. They're not as interested today, and it's almost 2017. There's an ambulance coming through.
Police.
Cops?
Yes.
Okay. They're not as interested in what was and what their past lives were, and how their chakras are spinning, and all these things we used to do together that really seemed important back then. Right now, what they're really interested in is what is really going on. And I guess that's the main focus of the readings. And in closing, I want to say the main focus seems to be consciousness moving faster, as you said, everything moving faster, and at the end of the day, people realizing that we live in a simulation or a hologram. Do you understand that concept?
Absolutely.
Oh, you do read up on it.
I do.
Yeah, because years ago when I first blogged it, people looked at me like, oh, she's one of those woo-woo people. I've never been woo-woo. Never. I consider that an insult. But the woo-woo stuff, well, come on, you go back with me for years. The woo-woo stuff is out. But I realized people weren't ready to hear it. So I set it aside when I started Crystal Links 22 years ago, and now we segue to somewhere around 2012-ish or something where they say consciousness shift to change, whatever you want to say. I'm very open, whatever your theories are, they are. But all of a sudden, they started bringing to the fore, the physicists I'm talking about, and people started getting, this isn't real. None of this is real. It's all a simulation. and what does that mean, and let's start looking for it. And on the occasion, those days, even if I sat and talked that talk with a client, they were open to it, but I knew they had it here. You know, people get things here. Do they get them here? Sometimes. Okay, but that's why we record, and we double record. You know, take that and listen to it later on down the line, and you'll get it. But this is what people are searching for. The fact that we're in some makeshift reality, that's science and math, it's just an algorithm, and that it's coming to its 0 point, to its closure. And in doing that, I don't know, how should we just sum this up? In knowing that it's a simulation, you're knowing and feeling and experiencing through your own consciousness, your dreams, and other experiences and others' input to you, that something big is going to happen. Perhaps Donald Trump is part of it. I believe he is. He is. I mean, he's not going to blow up the planet. This has nothing to do with, you don't see him pushing that nuclear button everyone's scared about, do you?
No.
I really don't.
It's all, you know.
It's hype.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's hype. It's all
Baloney.
silly. So
baloney.
I don't see him doing any of that. And at the end of the day, people are starting to incorporate from the mind, the soul, the mind, into the consciousness, into their consciousness, that something bigger is going on. They see it with the earth changes, right? Look what just happened now. We just had major earthquake and the supermoon in New Zealand, and then Venezuela a few hours later. And they're starting to research and look. Email, looking it up, okay? Google, they're going to Google earthquakes, 2016. And suddenly they can get the information. That's the faster you're talking about. I want to know if Ellie's telling the truth. Are the earthquakes getting deeper, more consistent, more frequent? Because we've always had a lot of frequent earthquakes, but how frequent and how often were they in populated areas? Things are shifting, things are changing. I am hoping that whoever is listening to us, that they do their homework. You know, don't believe everything on the internet. I did a blog today on fake news. That's just sensationalism. But, you know, be discerning. If you're a conspiracy theorist, all the better. You know, look into things. You may be right, you may be wrong. But at the end of the day, it's all going somewhere. Susan, do you have anything else to add?
No, we're going to get started with my reading. And thank you for allowing me to record you.
Thank you for recording me. It's been fun.
Talk to you soon.